Today we're putting in a chimney. This project is built around this particular machine. This is a wood boiler. 2 tons of automated German engineering at its finest. I decided I wanted to eliminate wood waste to the best of my ability with this company. And here we are 2 years later, still trying. Bad timing? Maybe.
In 2020, cleaning suddenly became very important to me. And I decided I need to clean up everything, and I mean everything. Two years later, things are much cleaner, and my parts finally arrived. So let's get right back into it.
This beauty nearly broke the bank on this project, but I emptied my savings account. Here we are. Now, you might be thinking, yes, he's finally gonna show us the wood boiler. But here's the hitch. The stove didn't come with a chimney. Before I can truly show you the wood boiler, I'm gonna have to install a brand new chimney on this fully automated dry kiln project. We'll throw this on quickly. It's not a big deal. Well, I say that, but
I'm looking pretty confused right now, but before I get into that, let's just talk about the wood stove briefly.
I can give you a little bit of information if we're looking at the wood stove here. This is the stove. This is the exhaust. It comes out of the chimney here. And it has this neat little flange system. So straight pipes on to an elbow. This is the blower. It forces air out the chimney. Then there's a reducer. And the reducer takes a square outtake vent and converts it into a circular chimney. The only thing is, it's in metric. I couldn't actually find a chimney that fit this stove. So I had to use an 8-inch diameter, double-walled, insulated chimney. The part that it came with was down to approximately 10 inches, but it's not exactly 10 inches, more like 9 and something, 9.5 inches. What I did was I took that part off, cut it so that it was smaller.
More about that at the end of the video, but let's get into the chimney. After we got burned ourselves a line from the inside out, Mike tried his hand at drawing the perfect circle. Apparently this is actually a skill. Just noticed it on YouTube the other day that people are trying to draw perfect circles, but Mike's is a little more challenging because he's got all those weird shapes and profiles. I think he did pretty well. Now I think this is about the 3rd or 4th time that I've cut into the C-can in this project, because the steel is always surprisingly thick. That feeling is just emphasized when you start cutting a really aggressive curve. Now that was a satisfying click. At some point though, it dawned on me that something didn't quite seem right.
Well, yesterday didn't go very well. I realized that this is not the right part. So we were looking for a thimble, a wall thimble, and we didn't even have a wall thimble. We were trying to make it fit in here. So yeah, I'm trying to rationalize what exactly happened there. But I think it's just a classic case of forget what you ordered. Nothing lost, I guess, really, except time. But today we're just gonna have to cut a bigger hole. You can see the layout there. So bigger hole, through pipe, and the wall thimble. So let's try again, round 2.
So after we finally got the right size hole in the sea can, everything else went relatively smoothly. And here we are just installing piece after piece on the chimney, and I decided to use a conveyor to lift the pieces onto the top of the sea can. The sea can itself is a really nice working surface, so once you have everything on the sea can, it's very easy to install a chimney up to about head height, shoulder height, standing on the sea can. And then for the final pieces, I just had to move onto the roof of the shed there, put those on from there. I say that looks pretty good.
We're going to cut forward here in time. So I have finished the chimney a while ago and made this custom part because we're getting pretty close to having this project finished. Just want to make sure that we've got some high temperature paint on here and there's absolutely no leaks anywhere in this. Okay, it's been modified from the factory a little bit. We shortened it a little bit this way and a little bit smaller in diameter because of the diameter of North American chimneys. So the solution was to cut off the ring, make cuts in the steel here, bend in these areas, they're tapered cuts, and then roll a new ring, the diameter that we needed, and then weld the ring onto the steel here. Follow it all up with lots of welds. So there's a bunch of welds that have gone in here. And the more recent ones probably I should check over, make sure that they are in fact airtight. And I'm almost certain that the paint that was used in this was not high temperature paint. So I think we're gonna go gray because that's what I have. 2000 degrees Fahrenheit should work. It's actually more than enough. That's 1093 Celsius. It's actually for exhaust manifolds. The flue gas temperature is only maybe 100 or 200 degrees Celsius at tops. I'll just buff out the paint, shave a little bit off each of the welds, and inspect the weld quality. If anything needs touch up, I'll bring out the stick welder and I'll stick weld to the best of my ability. So cleaned up the welds. The welds are looking good. I'm gonna actually grind off the inside as well. There's a couple of welds to work on the inside. I just want to make sure it's nice and smooth on the inside because that is where the airflow is going to be. No one's going to see it, but I'll know. So. It's solid. All right. that enough paint? Holy man. That should do it, hey? A couple more coats. Put it on a little too thick, starting to run. Too thick. And that's it. That's the last piece of chimney. I'll do a gasket that goes on the inside of the chimney here. So once those gaskets are in place and everything's back together and tightened up, the chimney is done. Watch the next video in the series if it's ready. If not, watch some other stuff until the next video is ready. It takes time to edit these things. Now you might be thinking, yes, 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 he's finally gonna show us the wood boiler. Hang on.